Hello, and welcome to Point of View, where we give students the place to listen, learn, and lean in. I'm your host, Jordan Anderson, and in today's episode, I'll be paying tribute to Jimmy Carter and discussing his life prior to his presidency, his accomplishments during his time in office, and the life he led afterwards. 39th and longest living president James Earl Carl Jr., also known as Jimmy Carter, was born on October 1st, 1924, in a small town of Plains, Georgia. His parents, Earl and Lillian, owned a peanut farm, warehouse, and a small store in Plains. Carter experienced a troubling childhood due to his home barely having electricity and proper home essentials. By the time he was 10, he was already working hard and selling food in order to save money for himself and his family. In his teenage years, he used the money he saved to buy 5 homes for families who were in need during the Great Depression. Carter was influenced by his Uncle Tommy to join the Navy. Carter would see the postcards his uncle would send from where he was stationed at the time. So in 1946, Carter graduated from the U.S. Naval Academy and proceeded to join the U.S. Navy. Also in 1946, Carter married his wife Rosalind, and they have 4 children together: Amy, Donald, Jack, and James. After serving 7 years in the Navy, Carter returned home to help out his family's peanut business and later went on to study at Georgia's Southwestern College and Georgia Tech. Additionally, he also began participating in different civil rights movements against racial segregation, which led to him becoming an activist for the Democratic Party. This brought plenty of backlash, and people went against the Carter family due to what they believed in, even going as far to try and boycott his family business, which was unsuccessful in the end. This only spurred Carter to further action. He's worked with tons of different committees throughout his town and even made his way on becoming chairman of his county's Board of Education. After becoming a chairman, a spot in the Senate opened up for Georgia, and Carter jumped at the opportunity. Now, at first, Carter lost the Democratic primary, but after some research and thinking, he was able to prove that his opponent was involved in voting fraud. During his 2 years in state Senate, Jimmy Carter tackled many different projects. He touched on wasteful government practices and government discrimination, even helped repeal laws to make it easier for African Americans to be able to vote. Carter served 2 terms in the Senate, but before his second term, he decided to challenge himself by going against Lester Maddox in the upcoming Georgia governor election. Even though Carter built a good, tough reputation, many people were still stuck in their ways and didn't agree with Carter's thoughts and opinions when it came to equality. So Maddox ended up winning the election, making him governor in 1966. And during Maddox's reign, Carter made it his business to campaign all throughout the state. So by 1970, Jimmy Carter was elected governor. While he was governor, he was on the National Governors Conference Executive Committee, and he was on the Democratic National Committee campaign chairman for the congressional elections in 1974. On December 12, 1974, Carter announced his candidacy for president. In a Democratic National Convention, he won his party's first ballot and was then elected as president on November 2, 1976. Jimmy Carter was inaugurated as president on January 20, 1977, and after that he immediately got to work. After a few weeks, Carter already started making changes within the U.S. government. Carter wanted to make the government competent and compassionate. He wanted the government to really hear and listen to the American people. One of Carter's biggest projects was working on the unemployment and inflation that was spiking in the U.S. The economy was in recession, and he wanted to fix that by creating as many jobs for the unemployed as he could. Congress was even able to pass the Economic Stimulus Appropriations Act thanks to his help. The act was to mainly help secure jobs for people who needed help and to boost the economy as well. After Carter's administration was put together, they worked to streamline the government's working so they would be able to pass their legislation. Carter's administration's primary focus was to rebuild the regulatory system after Nixon's presidency. Carter and his administration also passed the Civil Service Reform Act of 1978. That helped federal workers improve the government operations and productivity, as well as protected them from unfair or unwarranted practices. Carter was a part of many other events, like signing 2 U.S. treaties with Panama and the creation of the Camp David Accords. He even showed support toward legislation to make Martin Luther King Jr.'s birthday into a national holiday. His work helped towards creating peace within our country, as well as peace between the U.S. and other countries. Carter's presidency ended on January 20th, 1981, and even though his presidency was over, he didn't stop working to make changes. He continued to actively engage in the political and social aspects of the country and where communities need help the most. The Carter Center, that is located in Atlanta, was founded a year after his presidency by him and his wife, Rosalind Carter, to help continue his projects. They partnered with Emory University to express peace throughout the world. The center reportedly helped 80 countries in resolving all types of conflicts. Some of the conflicts involved human rights, mental health care, and helping farmers increase their crop production. Economic issues were also touched upon, depending if the country needed the extra help. The main mission of the Carter Center was to be fully committed to helping human rights and to put an end to human suffering. They wanted to enhance freedom and democracy and health throughout the world. They strive to take action on important issues and address problems. They work with other organizations that are on the same path to help local communities. The center even worked with the president to create a program that fought against the Guiana worm disease. For those who don't know, the Guiana worm is a parasite that feeds off other organisms to survive and mainly spreads through liquids. The disease affected about 3.5 million people in the whole world. Back to the economic side of things, this Carter Center also helped oversee 100 different elections in 38 countries to make sure fairness is established. Other than being busy with the Carter Center, Carter was also a part of the Habitat for Humanity. Habitat for Humanity is a nonprofit organization founded in Americus, Georgia, that helps families build homes and then help them find improved living spaces for them. The organization helps with making housing affordable for families in communities that needed a little extra help. According to the Atlanta Habitat for Humanity, Jimmy Carter recruited over 1,000 volunteers to build around 21 homes in the local community. By 2008, Carter was able to celebrate the Habitat's 25th anniversary and their milestone of building 100 homes. After presidency, Carter won several awards and was recognized countless times for efforts to help his community and others. Some awards he won was the UN Human Rights Prize in 1998. He was one of 5 people to receive this award around the world. He received, along with his wife, the Presidential Medal of Freedom in 1999. This award is the highest award to be received by the U.S. government to civilians. Carter also won the Nobel Peace Prize in 2002 for his years and years of hard work to ensure peace and solve international conflicts. He also holds credentials at Emory University for teaching there for 37 years. He would lecture about religion, public health, law, and policies and politics. He was big on helping students out with their projects and giving them advice to help them succeed. He also worked on some projects of his own by writing and publishing numerous books. In total, he wrote 32 books. They range from political philosophies, guidelines for spirituality, all the way back to his childhood years. In recent news, though, Jimmy Carter was just admitted into hospice because he has decided to spend the rest of his life surrounded by family in his hometown. Hospice is basically when patients choose not to undergo any more treatments when they are nearing the end of their life, which is focused on being comfortable for the rest of their life. To this day, Jimmy Carter is still appreciated and thanked for his efforts that he put in for the people throughout his life, whether it be the outreach through his political decisions. This concludes today's episode of Point of View. Thank you so much for listening. For a transcript of this episode, head to the Point of View tab on our website, nhsmessenger.org, and follow us on Instagram, Twitter, or Facebook at NHS Point of View. I'm your host, Jordan Anderson, and this has been Point of View.